Welcome back to New Garden Road, where I share my love of gardening with you in a way that I hope will inform, inspire, and elevate you. I'm gonna try to grow some chayote. I went to Costa Rica last summer and I just got inspired. I love the place, the people, the food so much, and I really like to experiment. It's always a good idea to experiment in the garden. Now, I've had chayote before, which is in the gourd family. I had it down in Costa Rica and I thought this is something a little bit exotic, will remind me of my trip to Costa Rica. Let's see if I can grow it back home in Austin, Texas. Yeah, so all I really did was I went to the grocery store and I picked out some good looking chayotes and I put them in a dark room in an area that had plenty of circulation. One of them sprouted already. You can see a part on the bottom of the fruit that kind of opens up and the seed inside will sprout. I'm gonna plant it in this pot with some premium potting soil. I'm gonna give it some sunshine. I'm gonna protect it from the cold temperatures. About March, when we hit the time of our last average frost, I may look to pot it up. I may look to pot one of them in the ground if I get more than one of them to sprout. I think that I can overwinter it in my garden. I'm pretty close to downtown. I've got some of that, downtown city insulation. If I'm lucky, over the next few winters, they're mild enough, I'll be able to mulch the plant heavily and carry it over. First step. Man, that tendril is ready to roll. I saw some really neat ideas about how to trellis these. I'm hoping I could do something creative. This guy has started to rot, but you can see the seed is sprouted. It's got some little leaves. I've got it about 3 to 4 inches down in the pot. I'm not gonna worry with it too much. I'm just gonna let it do its thing and I'm just gonna cover it with the potting soil. I've just got the fruit there covered with soil. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut it to about here, just above that first leaf right there. I'd like to prioritize more of the energy into the rooting. There won't be so much going into the vine at this point, and it can start to grow roots and then get nutrients from the soil and grow more vines from there. I think that's the best thing to do. So here we go. Yeah, so that's it. I got my first chayote potted up, ready to grow. Let's hope for a big crop. All right, so I've got my chayote planted in this little pot here. I've given it a couple days to get established. It's had a little bit of moisture, a little bit of rain. I wasn't flooding it too heavy because there's no roots on the chayote just yet. However, I do want to point out that the little leaves are looking good. They're growing. You can also see at the top where I pruned off the top of the vine, it started to sprout. So that's a good sign. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna give it a light drench of liquid seaweed. That's gonna help promote root growth, and it's also gonna provide the plant with some micronutrients, and it's gonna help it get going. So here's a little bit of liquid seaweed. It can take a long time for the chayote to mature. I think you're talking 120 to 140 days. I thought I'd hedge my bets and do a few, and in the end, if I come out with more than one, I'm gonna try planting one in the ground. I'm gonna try to grow one in a container. I'm also gonna share some with my friends or my neighbors. That's always a good thing to do. Share the bounty. Okay, here's a little update on the chayote that I planted about 4 weeks ago. You can see where I pruned off that stem. It's kicking out some nice new growth. It's got some tendrils, some new leaves. I don't think it's a sure thing yet. I'm gonna continue to take care of it. I'm gonna give it some more liquid seaweed. I'm gonna protect it from the cold nights. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I'm gonna get some chayote established in my garden. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some tips, and I hope you're inspired to grow something. And just remember, if they say you can't grow something in your area, it doesn't mean you can't try. It might take a little extra effort, some practice, a lot of TLC, but it's worth it. It's worth a shot. Especially if you've had an experience somewhere and you're trying to connect that with your own garden. As always, folks, please leave me a question or comment below. And if you like what you see and you want to see more of it, you know what to do. Subscribe to my page. It means a lot. I really appreciate it. Happy gardening, y'all.